Hey folks, Dad here with Elevation Diecast Racing. Happy Saturday. It's race day. Let's go back to the basics. Trucks edition. We'll go through 16 cars that have been prepped in the speed shop. We'll see which one which three will join the basics bracket here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 so far. All right, first up in lane 1 would be the Little Red Express, which went unpicked. They'll be taking on the Then and Now Chevy Silverado, which is driven by Mystic Archives. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Back to the basics are rolling. Slam Silverado. Then and Now 2097. Let's switch them. Really sharp looking truck. 2097 the time, 2099. Then and Now to the next round. Next up we have the Art Cars, which nobody picked, taking on one of the Silverado EVs in black, driven by 7th Avenue Diecast and Zamax Speed Shop. And I believe Mr. Red Pill himself picked the black one. Let's see who takes it down the lane first. EV 2106. 2 chances to win with the EVs. Silverados 2108. Gonna move the black one into round number 2. Next up, staged and ready in the gray Ford Lightning SVT in silver, driven by Diecast Show Customs. And it looks like, yeah, that's the only one that picked the silver one. The rest picked the gold. They'll be taking on the Terra Tractal, driven by Dutch Clutch Racing, Northern Roads Racing, Numbskull Racing, and the Stone Ponies Racing. Let's see who gets it. Lightning 2110 to 120. I expected both of these cars to be a little faster, to be honest. And the Lightning picks up the pace. 2107 will float them to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready in the Ford Maverick 22 is Zizzer Prime Racing and the Frugal Diecaster, taking on one of the Ford Lightning Customs, this one in black, driven by Clay 131 Diecast Racing. Let's see who takes it. Wow, good race. 2106. 2106 is the time to beat. Oh yeah, 2110 will move the Ford on to round number 2. All right, next up, staged and ready, is the other Ford Lightning in gold, the SVT, driven by JC Hayes, TNT Thurston, E67 Diecast, and let's see, I wrote these down wrong. Derek Hudson and Chaz D in the Ford SVT Lightning. I think I wrote these down wrong, guys. Nevertheless, anybody who picked an SVT is moving on to the next round. That's a one and done victory right there. So those who picked the 99 Ford SVT silver or gold, Diecast Show Customs, Chaz D, Derek Hudson, E67 Diecast, TNT Thurston, and JC Hayes. Next up in the brown 67 Chevy C10 will be GNR Vintage Diecast, taking on the Limited Grip, which went driverless. Limited Grip. Good grief, Charlie Brown. 2125 is the time to beat. Closer race that time, but a 2129 will send Limited Grip to round number 2. Next up, staged and ready in the Studebaker Champ, driven by Larry Stipe, Rough Diamond Racing, Alva 1370 Racing, and the Scale Racing Channel, taking on the Ford Lightning Custom Green Speed in red, driven by the 2 times Whiskey, Browns fan Larry, Chase Family Racing. Let's see who takes it down the lane first. Should be a good race. Studebaker, almost a gap. 2104 to 19. 2104 will be the time to beat. Studebaker, 2101, improving the time. Moving into round number 2. And next up, for the other Silverado EV in blue, is Aramis Rodriguez, Chris Hood, DXP Diecast Racing, and I believe Mr. Red Pill did pick the blue one. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look at the comments, but everybody that picked the Silverado is right there. And in the far lane, the slammed Chevy Silverado from 1983, driven by Brian Creasy, Variant Skunkworks, Dennis Taylor, and Cut Rocker Diecast. Let's see who gets down the lane first. Good race. Slam Silverado with a 2097. 2097 the time to beat. 2083. Let's go. And on to round number 2 we go. As follows. Let's see it. Up first, staged and ready, new Chevy Muscle versus old Chevy Muscle. Who's going to emerge victorious in this one? Wow, 2094 by the Silverado from 83. 2094 is the time to beat. He really takes it that time. 2096. Moving on to round number 3. All right, so we have new Lightning versus older Lightning. I wouldn't call it old. 1999, not so long ago. Nevertheless, 2102. The EV Custom got him on the back end of that one. Let's see if he can do it again. Good race. 2104. Does not beat an 02. And that'll move the new Lightning to the next round. Limited Grip taking on another Lightning. 2107 is the time to beat. 2105 gets the gold Lightning into the next round against the new Lightning. All right, let's see if the Studebaker can slow down this Chevy. I'm having my doubts. He got him on the jump, but those long legs drove around him on the back end. 2088 is the time to beat. Got him big time. 2085, rolling him to the next round. Semifinals time, and look what we have. Chevy versus Ford, and Chevy versus Ford. Chevy out front keeps it. 2098 to 99. Wow. 2098 is the time to beat. Lightning out front. Chevy pulled out on him on the back end. 2099. And that Silverado is going to the final race. So can Ford overcome Chevy's dominance in this race? I don't think so. 2089 is the time. Oof, 2087. We'll put the 2 lowrider Silverados from 1983 into the finals. Let's see who'll take third, at least for now. 2098 by the new Lightning, and 2098 the time. Man, the gold one gives him a push, but not enough. All right, so the winner of this race will sit out while we run through some more basics and run another bracket and just see which one of these basics. This is an old school basic, so none of these newer castings are producing any speed. 2083 is not bad though for an older basic casting. Chevy Silverado in black doing better than I thought it would. He had him all the way down until the last couple of feet of track. And that'll do it. 2086. And there is your winner. The Slam Chevy Silverado, driven by Brian Creasy, Variant Skunkworks, Dennis Taylor, and Cut Rocker Diecast. And in second place, driven by Mystic Archives. And the Black Ford Lightning Custom, driven by the Whiskey 2 Times Red, Brown's Fan Larry, Chase Family Racing 131 diecast. And driving the 4th place Gold SVT Lightning, which is going into the bracket for another basics race, driven by Diecast Joe Customs, Chaz D, Derek Hudson, E67 Diecast, TNT Thurston, and JC Hayes. I also ran the rest of the bracket off camera, and we're going to go ahead and put in the Studebaker and the blue Chevy EV. So that will be coming up. We're going to run this bracket very soon to get them out of here and just see if we can come up with a couple more basics to face our winner. I'd like to thank everybody that has picked a car, and stay tuned for the next Decide Your Ride bracket. And remember, if your car isn't fast, well, at least they'll look good on the shelf. Have a great day.